Ronald Reagan. Wasn't he a great president, known as the great communicator because of his excellent speech, optimism, and charisma?
I wonder what type of charisma he carried. I'm assuming not the good one.
What the hell are you talking about? Bro, I mean he played a significant role in ending the Cold War.
Okay, that's fair. But during the arms race, he bluffed about shooting lasers from space and upon the Soviet Union. Bro, lasers? Literal lasers. And that unrealistic plan was called Strategic Defense Initiative, and the critics called it Star Wars.
Listen, he's straighting the economy through his economic system, namely Reaganomics, by using the trickle-down theory.
But who benefited the most through Reaganomics?
I'll think about that. Anyways, I'm your host Iman, and we'll be talking about Reagan's gifts and offerings to the USA during his presidency in the 80s, and the beautiful and honorable legacy he left behind.
I'm your co-host Pen. It's a pleasure to be here. Also, despite the freedom of speech, we will hold our tongues at certain points to maintain and appear respectful. This topic is so content-heavy, Iman has researched hours just to summarize it.
Bro, there's still so much to cover and comprehend.
Firstly, let's talk about context. Ronald Reagan was an actor starring in 53 movies, then served as the governor of California from 1967 and then left office in 1975. He first ran for president in 1976 but lost to Gerald Ford and then ran again and won in 1980. He served as president from 1981 to 1989. He had the whole era named as the Reagan era, or if you're cynical, the Greed decade.
If you do understand the context of Reaganomics, which I will be explaining in just a bit, then you are aware that the middle class's eyes glisten and trickle down, while the upper class threw a party for its succession. Guess what? Donald Trump didn't even create the infamous patriotic slogan, quote-unquote, "Make America Great Again," but it's actually Reagan. So mind-boggling.
Now, let's yap about Reaganomics. But first, you're probably wondering, what the hell is trickle-down theory? Here, let me explain. It's basically when you cut tax for big corporations and high-income earners like Rockefeller and Trump, but obviously not for the ordinary people. And the wealth would somehow trickle down to the ordinary people and combine it with decreased government spending on medical aid, food stamps, and educational programs. They would tell you it's good, but really, it was just a way for justifying tax cuts on the rich, and some of the ordinary people were seriously supporting it.
Wait, why does that sound similar? To who? Oh, Donald Trump!
Yes! And that's basically the philosophy of Reaganomics. Like, bro, he put his brain, heart, and soul into trickle-down economics, and I can't lie, I admire the dedication, but only the dedication. Did it work equally and fairly? No. Economists and anyone that has a sense of rationalism know how ruthless the upper class really are. And it basically heavily benefited the upper class, while the classes below kind of suffer more and witness less improvement. You know what's crazy though? That man had an economics degree and he used it to his very advantage. I kind of agree with George H.W. Bush's comment on Reaganomics, calling it voodoo economics.
Could have used that knowledge in economics in another way that benefits the ordinary people and the upper class as well. But I guess the sense of money and privileges were blurring his eyes and heart, blacklisting justice. Speaking of injustice, Reagan was clocked out when neglecting the AIDS pandemic. Bro, it took him 4 years until 1985 to mention the words AIDS. Like, what the flip? He literally continued to neglect the AIDS pandemic, causing thousands of innocent human beings to die. And the short reason why he neglected such abundance was because they were queer. It's so biased. And what form of discrimination did he feel up economically?
Classism.
You're damn right, classism. What a beautiful word. And during the AIDS pandemic, men started to wear conservatively to blend in so that they could seem less queer and avoid discrimination. And this is one of the factors that eventually led to nowadays, where men are just wearing tediously muted clothes on a surface level of fashion trends after fashion trends. And I'm sure that many people don't know about this.
What? I did not know about that.
Proved my point. And I got another point of Reagan's bigotry. You know how the word welfare kind of makes people twitchy? Well, once upon a time, there was a woman and her name was Linda Taylor. And she was known as the welfare queen. A derogatory term, by the way. And Linda had no idea Reagan would mention her crime or describe her without mentioning her name or race, for the sole purpose of fueling up his own 1976 presidential campaign. Now, what the hell was her crime about? Well, it was welfare fraud, and Linda spent it on fur, boots, jewelry, and more. And Reagan was looking for crazy welfare stories that would literally spark controversy. And plus, she was half black, half white, which was a glorious opportunity for himself. Reagan lied in his speech and bluntly announced that the woman stole $150,000. But it was not $150,000, but rather $40,000 she stole over several years. Note, she also was charged with other crazy crimes like kidnapping, bigamy, and perhaps for murder? But the great communicator did not bring those up. And then during his presidency, he cut governmental spendings on welfare. Bro, see how this lie worked on the masses' view on welfare? And made them believe it's a scam. And then those very people targeted the poor and minorities, and this issue still continues today. This is another example of classism, by the way.
Bro, and he preached about the importance of family values. But ironically, before he was the US president, he was divorced.
Divorced, conservative, and preaching about family values? Why does that sound similar to, well, we all know who. Bro, when I first heard about Reaganomics last semester in AP World History, I felt pretty intrigued, so I went further in depth. And wow, I felt pretty disillusioned. I thought Reagan was a great president because of the glorification on social media platforms, but I was wrong. Anyways, we're coming to an end. Like and subscribe, share, and to you, the listener, have a good day.